Well guys, finally got the key sent over to this rider. Got the truck open. Turns out that whoever was in this truck last, which I have reason to believe was a she, nothing against women, but didn't leave the truck in the best condition. Left quite a bit of food and trash and just overall disorganized, and left the keys in the ignition and then locked both doors. So that was nice and convenient. Fifth wheel was pretty rusty, so I got some grease on it. I'll show you all the tires on the passenger side in a minute. They're really oddly worn, but yeah, so it looks a lot better right now than it did, but even then you can still tell it's kind of rough in here. Fortunately, they left us some trash bags to clean all this shit up, which was a lifesaver actually. This is just my stuff that I brought with me. The batteries did have to get charged to start it because it's been sitting for a while. But I've been running this thing for the last, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour to air it out because the smell in here was awful. And then as you'll see here in a second, I found a little surprise in the fridge. And I'll show those pictures to y'all. But it is just gross, man. Like, just gross. Bunch of gnat eggs, I can only assume. I mean, just look at that. There's a big hunk of black mold. Just, you know, lovely stuff. So this thing was full of perishables, like syrup, ranch, turkey, salad, just literally everything you can think of that would make a stink, make a mess, and go bad in a few days. And a truck that's off, they had it in here, man. And I mean, the smell when I opened this thing was awful. So I feel bad for whoever's gonna end up, or whoever was gonna end up with this truck. Hopefully they clean it up. I don't have any cleaning supplies with me, but they left a cigarette butt on the bed. It was just lovely. Tell you what though, I'm keeping this thing closed for the rest of the duration I have this truck. Windows are open. Get this thing aired out. There's some kind of ring here. I don't know if that's spilt coffee or something else, but I can tell you one thing. I am not sleeping on this bed tonight. No way. After seeing the condition this truck was left in, I feel like it's safe to assume that hygiene was not a top priority of the previous owner or user of this truck. So all right. Yeah, so we're gonna be heading to the Peterbilt in Denton again to get an empty trailer. We got a load going to Little Rock. I'm kind of just happy to get out of Houston now, to be honest. But man, this truck was, oh my god, it was gross. There's just gunk everywhere. All of the cup holders and trays, side compartments, and just all kinds of gunk, loose change, God knows what, combined with grease. Basically threw everything away in here that was left. Put my gloves on and didn't touch anything on here with my gloves. I was cleaning up, or didn't touch anything without gloves on while I was cleaning, so hopefully that helps a little bit. I'm sure I ingest a little bit of mold molecules here and there. When I opened that fridge, I did not know what surprises were awaiting me. But we're gonna get out of here, head up to Dallas. Either I'm gonna grab the empty and then get a room for the night, or just head straight to a motel in Denton, which that's probably a little easier without a trailer. But yeah, so this is the road to getting back in my truck now, I believe. Talked to my fleet manager today, and they finally got the parts in for my truck. So I guess they did finally decide they wanted to fix it. So I think that means I'm going to be getting back in my truck eventually. Might be a few days, but I got the parts in, so they're going to start working on it today and tomorrow. But the truck's still in Nashville, so I'm either going to have to get a load up there or a deadhead there to get my truck back. Or a rental car, because I still have this truck. I'm going to drop this truck off probably in Little Rock. But we'll see. The adventure continues. It's a little interesting footage for y'all. Just getting onto Interstate 30 from 35 east northbound. Picked up the load at the Caterpillar in Waco. Heading up to Little Rock with this Volvo that I picked up the other day in Houston. Ooh, it stinks in here, man. Yeah, man, it was so bad in here. I legitimately was wearing a mask like the whole time I was driving yesterday, because the smell was so bad in here. Like, oh man, it was bad. But yeah, we got this load going to Little Rock, and then once we deliver it, gonna go to the terminal there in Little Rock, and we're gonna get this thing detailed, because our truck did get approved to get worked on, and the parts got there, so they're gonna start working on it this week. So I've got plans next weekend that I want to get home for, and I didn't start my clock this week until yesterday, so I'm just gonna run my 70 out next week is the plan. Hopefully pick up the truck in Nashville. Hopefully it gets done, and then head home with my truck and be done for the week next week. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still trying to decide if I even want to try and sleep in this truck because it smells so bad. So we'll see. Once I get this truck detailed tomorrow morning and cleaned, the air quality's good enough. I think I'll sleep in here, but I'm not sleeping on the bottom bunk. I really don't want to risk bed bugs after seeing the way this truck was treated by the last driver. So the top bunk, the mattress up there has a plastic film on it, so I think that one's safe. But it's going to depend on the air quality here. Like, if it's too bad, then I'm not going to bother, because I've already got a sore throat from being in here for one day. Some, respiratory irritation. So, if it's not suitable, I'm not going to force it. But, yeah, we'll see on down the line what happens. I'll tell you what, nothing makes you feel dumber than recording for 4 minutes and not realizing you didn't hit record. Talking to yourself and everything, acting a fool. Oh well. I guess I'll catch up later. I just can't be bothered to show y'all. Well, I'll show y'all a little bit. But I just did a whole tour of the truck for y'all, and I didn't hit record. So we finally got. Oh, hello. Got the truck clean. We got it in this morning at the terminal about 9:45. Got out I just pulled it out at 5 o'clock, so it was in there a good 6-7 hours, and they checked the fault codes on it because it was throwing some check engine lights, and it's nothing too bad, just some sensors that need to be replaced, but good enough for me to run for a week or so. We got planned out stacked for the weekend 3 loads, probably 1,800 miles of runs. So we're set up good. We're first going to Magnolia, Arkansas. What's going on here? Picking up there and going to Muskogee, just a short hop. But it's Georgia Pacific, so it's priority. That gets done first. Get that done. Where's my seatbelt? Oh. Then we got a load out of Muskogee going to Libertyville, Illinois, and then from there we're going down to Jackson. So nice little quick run, and then up to Illinois, and then back south for the weekend. So. Yes, sir. All right, I guess I'll show you all the truck real quick. So, new mattress, new floor. Well, not new floor, clean floor. Cleaned the surfaces, everything. It's enough. It's good enough. It doesn't feel unsanitary anymore, which is where I draw the line on things. If it's unsanitary, I ain't wanna run it. Especially sleeping in here, breathing in all that crap. So I'll show you all the fridge again later. Okay. Well, I think we're set to go. See y'all down the road. Y'all want to see tight? This is tight. Lord have mercy. One little rinky-dink dock. Should probably use that dock plate, to be honest. Strategically positioned light pole to make this turn even harder, and of course a good pile of debris on the other side of the turn. See my tire tracks right here, just 6 inches from this thing. Barely missed the pole. And of course, to make it even better, leave a trailer over here, make the turn even tighter. And we get down here to this other turn. what world is a 53 foot supposed to make this turn? In what world? Look where my channels went. And I was riding into that side too. Yeah, we get 53 footers here all the time. I'm supposed to blindside on, I'm supposed to just turn in here and blindside. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. All right, so made it to the first delivery of the weekend in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Just delivered at the Georgia Pacific here in town. Got here last night and stayed at the Walmart parking lot on right there in town, and did my post trip. And there was a tire on my trailer that had basically all but blown off, stripped down to the cord and off the bead, but it hadn't blown. And so got that replaced while I was shut down, and just crawled on over 5 miles down the road to this Georgia Pacific. Made our drop of recycled paper. Picked up, what did we pick up? Usually it's tissues or paper plates when it's Georgia Pacific. I don't know, it doesn't say. But nice and light load, 22,000 pounds. Going to Libertyville, Illinois. Pretty close up by Milwaukee and Kenosha. So guess we might be getting to see the excitement from Milwaukee winning the finals. I don't know if people are still partying up there. But good run, 740 miles. Just gonna head up 44 east out of Tulsa. Take that on up to St. Louis and take 55 on up. So nice and easy run. So now I'm still starting to make some weird noises. The check engine light came back on, which I kind of figured would happen. Started cutting power again this morning. I made it all the way yesterday, most of yesterday driving and without it. Cutting power again, but this morning it started out right away cutting power, even in like the low range in like 4th and 5th gear, which is a little concerning. I was hoping I could at least get up to 45, 50 miles an hour before we do that, because it makes it real hard to get up hills and mountains with no low-end power and torque. So I'm hoping whatever it is that's causing it, I don't know if it's a fuel filter issue or DPF filter that's clogged or something. Maybe getting up to speed for a while will help. That's what I'm hoping. So we just got to get it to last until next week. Hopefully my truck will be done by then and I can get out of this thing, because it's not running the greatest. It needs service, and then the problem is it's a Ryder truck, so I have to get it serviced at a Ryder terminal, which is kind of a pain, and then it's still a Volvo. So not the greatest situation, but you know, you take what you can get when your truck's in the shop, I suppose. But honestly, it will turn off the idle if you're sitting still for like 2 minutes. I mean, it is aggressive. So, and then it does have an APU on it, but you know, I'm not very familiar with APUs. I don't know how to finagle them to get them to do what you want. But really, I can only get them to stay. I can only get it to stay on for like 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes max, and it shuts off. And you know, it doesn't take long to get uncomfortable out there when you're, you know, it's 85, 88 degrees at night. It's humid. You're gonna get sweaty real quick, and it really, it takes it about 30 minutes for it to think it's warm enough in there that it'll turn back on. Like, I try to turn it back on manually, it'll boot up for like 5 seconds and then turn it off. Like, nah, you're fine. I'm like, well, I'm not. I can't sleep and I'm covered in sweat. So I don't know, some of y'all are more familiar with APUs. Maybe hit me up with any advice, making these next few days a little better. So maybe it'll be a little bit cooler when I head up to Illinois at night at least. But anyways, I'll catch y'all later. Good morning, everybody. Just delivered about a little over an hour ago. Getting through Chicago right now on 294 heading south. Delivered up in Libertyville, Illinois, to the Medline distribution center up there. Had a 0300 appointment. I had to get up. Shoot. I got up at 1:30, I think. I was like 50 miles away. I shut down at the exit 42, close to a truck stops there on Interstate 90, and it loves TA Speedway. Stopped there yesterday. And just kind of chilled there for the day. And heading to go pick up my next load right now in Kankakee, I don't know how you say it, Indiana. Or maybe it's Illinois, I don't know. It's on 57. I go through there every now and then. But that is taking me to Jackson, Mississippi. And then hopefully from there I can go pick up my truck, assuming it's done. I feel like it should be done. They've had the parts for a week. You know, it is a major repair, but it's not like something crazy like, you know, rebuilding an engine. Like, I feel like a week to replace a turbo is enough, you know. So really crossing my fingers that once I do this next load, I can either go pick up my truck or pick it up on the way there, get out of this Volvo. Now, it isn't the worst truck ever, don't get me wrong, but it's just not for me, and I feel like, well, part of it is the way this Volvo is set up. I don't know exactly how to work it with the idling and the APU. I don't know if there's a problem with the APU, or I don't know how to work it or whatever, but I just cannot keep it cool in here. The APU won't idle for longer than 5 minutes, and I can't get it to turn on like soon enough. You know, I guess the sensor is like, oh, it's cool enough in here. So, and this truck literally will not idle longer than 30, 35 minutes max. I mean, I'm probably press down, it'll still turn it off. Like you'll be sitting there idling at 1,000 RPMs, and it'll still idle beeper will come on. That's going to turn itself off. So it's like great, you know, it's 95 degrees outside. I can't get the dang truck to idle, you know, and keep it cool in here. And the APU won't do it either. So neither of the options will keep it cool without constant attention. So I just haven't slept very well in here, and I'm, you know, worn out, and I'm ready to get back into my truck and be able to be more comfortable. So it's been a fun adventure, you know, recovering trucks, and well, not all of it was fun. It was interesting and different at minimum, but hopefully we can get some better fortune going forward with my truck. There really isn't a whole lot more I feel like that could be replaced in the engine bay, besides heavy engine work and emissions related stuff like DPF filter and all that. And we've done pretty much everything else in the last 3 months on it, so hopefully we can get some good running in for a while and not have to take it into the shop so much. See. Well, made it to West Memphis today. That was quite a drive. Truck's parked over there on that Crete driver. Got in here just before it started pouring rain. Anywho, decided to get a motel for the night. It is too muggy out there, and I cannot get this truck to idle and keep it cool in there, so I just pay the $50 and get me a motel for the night. Probably could get it reimbursed by the company anyway, since this truck just doesn't really do its job. But did make it to West Memphis today. We started in Harmony, Illinois, at exit 42 of I-90. Made our delivery at 0300 in Rockford. No, not Rockford. Tired brain. Libertyville, Illinois, at the Medline. Made it to our next pickup in Kankakee, down the road about 100 miles on Interstate 57. Then made it 560 miles. When I left Kankakee with my load, I had 8 hours on my clock, and I made it from there to West Memphis. I was hauling butt a little bit. I stopped for like 15 minutes at the Love somewhere to fuel up and get a little more coffee and get something to eat in the morning. I'll tell you what, man, I was running on fumes today. I slept maybe 3.5-4 hours last night. I just couldn't cool down the truck. I constantly having to get up. I'm ready to get back in my truck, but I have some news on that. So I got an update today. They're supposed to have finished it today, but they just barely didn't finish, and then it's supposed to be ready tomorrow, I guess. But I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to go get it. It is in Nashville, well, right outside Nashville, Lebanon, but I've got to deliver this load tomorrow in Jackson, Mississippi. And it's a 1 p.m. Delivery time. And then I am pre-planned on another load going back up to Illinois, but
if my truck's ready, I really would like to just go pick it up and get planned to go home from there. But we'll see. Another thing I've got to be watching is my hours on my 70 are running down. I think I'm down to probably like 13 hours now. So I'll be getting 6 hours of recaps tomorrow, and then it's like 8, 9 the next few days. So it's going to be tight if we do try and do that run up to Illinois. Then I'm going to have to come back still and make it home for my trip this weekend. But we'll see what happens. Well, there's been a change in plans, much to my dismay, unfortunately. The truck is finally ready today to be picked up, but we're not going to be able to get any loads out of Nashville in time for me to get home by Friday. So I'm just going to stick with this load I'm just picked up out of the Bennington, Alabama. Just a few minutes ago, heading up to the Walmart DC in Olney, Illinois, and got the load planned home from there. So I'll still make it home on Friday, but don't get to pick up the truck, unfortunately. I was really wanting to do that before I went home, because I'm now running on 2 weeks in this. Well, not 2 weeks in this truck, but 2 weeks outside of the truck, and man, I'm ready to get back in my truck, and so yeah, and also my cat's still at home. He's used to being in the truck. He doesn't like being at home too much by himself all day. He likes being out on the road in the co-pilot chair, so it stinks. And I've got a lot of stuff still in my truck, but hey, I mean, we're still getting loads, we're still getting paid and all that. It's just, small little quality of life things that would be nice to have that we don't at the moment, but hey, we'll get through it. There's definitely worse positions to be in as a truck driver, so. But I will let you guys know how this trip goes later on. Well, I finally did make it out of that craft in Champaign, Illinois, but we ended up spending close to 11 hours there, so that was fun. Unfortunately, we ended up being a work-in because we couldn't make our 8:30 appointment. We were never going to make it, but ended up getting out of there at about 9 o'clock last night, and did a full 10 in the dock. So, drank some coffee and got down the road because I'm trying to get home. So, made it to the terminal in Little Rock here last night, early this morning, 5 a.m. And, pretty good time. Made it in about 7.5 hours, I guess. I feel like that's pretty good for that distance. I think it was like 500 miles. So we did end up getting the confirmation that the delivery for this load has been changed to Monday at 11:30. So all my plans are going to work out for this weekend that I had. So I'm happy about that. And my 10 should be rolling here in about an hour and a half or so, and I can get on the way home. It's about a 4-hour drive to where I live in East Texas, from Little Rock. So Yep. Finally gonna get home. 2 weeks driving this recovered Ryder Volvo. It's been quite the experience, I'll tell you that. And also, find out we're bringing the truck back in to the terminal here in Little Rock next Monday. We're gonna turn it in, and our truck is now done in Nashville, and we're gonna get a rental car from here in Little Rock next week and go and get our truck back. So good news around. So hopefully we can kind of get back in the rhythm of things, get my co-pilot, the Cat Pike, back in the truck, get comfortable in my own truck again. It'll be nice. I just found out that this whole time that the Volvos have a idle system in it where you just use the cruise control and just press on the gas and hit the up on the cruise button, and it sets the idle and keeps the truck running. I didn't know that. For the last 2 weeks, I've been just trying to keep something on the gas pedal to idle the truck, and I have to wake up every few hours to turn it back on because it would turn off. So yeah, a little frustrating, but you know what, at this point I'm just happy to be getting out of this thing soon and getting home. But yeah, I guess it's been an interesting experience these last 3 weeks, recovering trucks, going all over the place, every which way, driving in rental cars, driving in trucks I haven't driven in before, Volvos and Peterbilts, driving in stinky trucks. It's all been very interesting, but I'm definitely ready to get back to a little more